And we are going to get started. Hi, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. If your camera is off and you can turn it on, I would love to see your beautiful faces. I see Miss Krista and Hope and Emily and Blanca and Jess. Brooklyn, hi. I hope you're doing good and little baby. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this party started. Hi, Casey. Thanks for putting your face on for me to see. So every Wednesday, which it is Wednesday, not Tuesday, we do a team huddle, team meeting. Often it's trainings. Sometimes it's just things that we've learned. Sometimes it's leadership. Sometimes it's tough love. But what I really, truly love about it is it's just a time for us to all get together. I know for me, I need that. Like, I'm literally lost without you girls. And I just looked forward to our meetings throughout the week. So tonight, well, let me start with saying that this past week, Monday and I don't even know what days I did it now, but like a few days ago, because I don't know what day it is, honestly, but a few days ago, I spent the majority of my day for 2 to 3 days straight having one-on-ones with anybody who told me, like, I'm either left conference, or maybe you didn't go to conference, but you still felt the fire. And anybody that told me, like, I'm ready to run, I'm ready to earn this diamond bonus, or if you're already diamond, I'm ready to earn this X, Y, and Z bonus. And anyone who said that to me, I was like, all right, let's schedule a one-on-one, 10 to 15 minutes. Some of them lasted longer than that because it was just so fun to like work so closely with you guys. And I truly like thrive on that, like being in person, like face to face with you guys. So one thing that I was hearing over and over in these one-on-ones is messaging, like, and it wasn't always the same issue, I guess you could say, but like messaging kept coming up in everybody's. And so maybe they were like, I actually love messaging. I'm not finding a rhythm with it, or I'm not finding the time to get it in. Like I do my power hours, but I save messaging for the end, and then I like run out of time or something, or maybe I'm not being consistent with them. So there was that group of people. And then there was the group of people that was like, I just don't want to, or I don't like to, or I feel weird about it, or whatever. So there's those groups of people. Everybody make sure you're muted. I guess I can mute everyone really quick. But whatever it is, there was different reasons why messaging wasn't happening, or maybe it was like a back burner thing. And I just want you guys to know that if you're truly, truly running for diamond, running for this $15,000 bonus and beyond, that you, and I see Casey like, yeah, me. And I see so many faces that are all running towards diamond. I'm so excited for you, but you need to know that you absolutely, absolutely have to get out of your comfort zone. Nobody is going to go diamond comfortably. Nobody. The only way you're going to get this diamond bonus comfortably is if you went diamond last month without knowing there was a bonus, and then went to conference and found out all you need now is 6 customers and that bonus is yours. And even then, you still worked really hard to get to diamond. So the point is that you have to get out of your comfort zone. And I know a lot of you guys have like gotten to where you are by maybe like half-assing it a little bit. And I mean that with like love. I don't mean it, I mean that like, I've even been there at certain points in my business where it's like coasting a little bit, just a little bit of coasting. And like, you didn't have to message as much, or maybe you were at this like sweet spot in your business that like, wouldn't we all love to be at, where it just seemed like people were really coming to you for a while. Like you weren't even having a message because your inbox was full of people that were like, tell me what you're doing, or, you know, give me info, or what's this coffee, or I want to get these samples or whatever. And that's amazing. But if you're really truly trying to reach the next level and reach these bonuses, I'm just going to tell you that not only do you have to get out of your comfort zone, but you have to message. You have to, you guys. So if there's a way to do this tactfully. So if you're one of the people that's like, I don't want a cold message, neither do I. Nobody wants to cold message. But what cold messaging is to me would be like going to your explore page on Instagram and choosing one of the pictures, and then everyone who liked the picture reaching out to them and being like, hey, want to try my skinny coffee. That's cold messaging. You have zero relationship with them. You've never spoken to them, and they do not follow you, which means you're basically just picking a name out of a hat. And you know what? Some of them might be like, cool, tell me more. But there's a good chance that the majority of them are either going to ignore you, block you, or, you know, whatever other. I think those are really the only two options there are. But the chances are you're not going to get a lot of great like feedback from that. And so messaging is so important, but let's remember to make sure I'm like stuttering over here. Let's make sure that we're doing it tactfully. But to me, if you're following me on Instagram, or you are a friend of mine on Facebook, like a Facebook friend, then I'm going to message you. I'm going to message you. Even if we haven't necessarily talked in a while, I'm going to message you. And I'm not going to, you know, we have messages in the team page. If you're on Rochelle's team, there's messages on her team page. There's plenty of places if you watch a Jade Hooper video, she has messages in her videos. Like there's tons and tons and tons of resources out there so that you can message people with a very good message that literally is as non-offensive as possible. Like if somebody gets offended from a message that you send them, if you're sending them one of these, then they like woke up on the wrong side of the bed, honestly, or maybe have been waking up on the wrong side of the bed for too long now. So I just want you to know that like, if you're not messaging because you're scared of responses, then I need you to understand that you are not willing to do whatever it takes to go diamond. And right now we have a very short amount of time to reach that rank and to reach those bonuses. And I'm going to do anything I can to reach my bonus. I'm going to do anything I can, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's something that I might not do every month, every day, every week. I'm going to do it right now. I've told you guys this a million times leading up to conference because I was trying to pump you up and get you excited, but I've never left a conference and not earned a bonus following that conference. And it's because I decided I'm going to earn it. And then I go out and I take massive action and I do everything I can to get that bonus. And it's because I'm willing to get uncomfortable to do that. So I remember when I was going triple, honestly, other than presidential, I'm pretty sure I did this to get every single bonus. At one point, I reached out to people and I just asked them for help. It's not often that I do that. Normally my messages are by the book, like the messages that are in the team page. I love them because they work. But when it's bonus time, you better believe that I'm doing a live several times a week asking for help. I'm putting a post up asking for help. When I message people, I'm letting them know what's on the line for me. Some of them aren't going to care. And they're going to be like, no, because they have their own lives too. They have their own budgets too. They have their own things they have to pay for too. But some of them are going to be like, wow, not only have I been watching Kat for a while now, and I've been interested in the coffee that she's been talking about, but now I know how much she has at stake. Now I know how much I could be helping her by buying this. So you got to put yourself out there. You have to ask people for help and you have to message. So it's a matter of like, how badly do you truly want this? And I know, because I've done a lot of one-on-ones in the last week, that there's a lot of you that really, really, really want this. So now it's just how uncomfortable are you willing to get? So that's just my little spiel on messaging. Hopefully you guys receive that well and are ready to get out of your comfort zone. So many of you already have. So many of you already are messaging, and you're reaping the benefits or the reward of that, I guess you could say. So Ashley, I want you to spend a little bit of time sharing what you shared with me this morning, which was just an amazing reminder to me. And I think will either be a reminder to other people, or maybe it'll be the first time they ever heard this, but this is some really powerful stuff.
Yes, and I apologize to my team because I went through this all this morning with them, but listen again because maybe you'll hear something you didn't this morning. Okay, so yesterday I was like, man, let me back this up a little bit. A few months ago, something I was listening to, and I remember telling you, Shelby, and maybe I told my team too, basically said, if you aren't taking care of all aspects in your life, like for example, if you're not sleeping, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not exercising, if you're not, one example was making your bed every morning, but if you're not doing all of these things, then you're gonna fall short in every category. Because, and I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but anyways, I 2 days ago, I was like, man, I've really been slacking with working out. And I've really tried to always um incorporate that into my life in some way or another. And I've just really been slacking. And I was thinking the other day, like, I need to give myself some time in the morning to get that done, because I know if I start my day that way, and if I start it on the right foot, then my business is going to thrive. Like everything else in my life will fall into place. Plus it'll make me feel good. So I went to the gym yesterday, and I was like, I'm reading a book every month, but I wanted to like switch it up every once in a while. I like to just change things up a little bit. And I listened to one of Pam Sauter's podcast, which, man, every time I listen to them, I'm like, why do I ever go a day without listening to these? Because she literally is, most of you on here have heard her speak either through a Zoom, or if you're at a conference, you have to see her in person. And she's just everything. She's just so wise. And, you know, we always say you want to copy the right cat, right? Well, she is literally the exact person that I want to look up to. And anyways, so I was listening to this podcast, and when Shelby starts talking again, I'll write in the chat what it was called, because I can't remember right now. But it was 21 minutes of absolute gold. Like I was on the elliptical, literally soaking in every single word. Like I'm probably going to listen to it again in the next couple of days here, but it was all about our mindset and having an abundancy mindset instead of a scarcity mindset, which I actually think that may be what the podcast was called. But here's the thing. We've said this a million times, and I know there might be a few newbies on here, but we all know how to work the business. And by that, I mean, we know what the steps are. We know, for the most part, unless you're new, but we know how to work social media. We know how to put people on the system. That's not a problem for anybody. It's certainly not a problem for me. I know what I'm supposed to do every single day. And so what is keeping me from being a top income earner right now? It's 100% me and my mindset. There's nothing else that's keeping me from doing that. And so she said in there, so the point of me saying that is, if you know what you're doing, and if you know the steps that you should be taking, then all that's missing is the abundant mindset. And if you're like me, my money blueprint, which that's from another book, but my money blueprint is a scarcity mindset. That's just how I was raised, and I've just always held on very tightly to money. Um, and so for me to have an abundant mindset, it's a lot of work. Like, well, Pam yesterday in this podcast said, you cannot have an abundancy mindset until you're thankful for what you have right now, which I think I've heard like some version of that before. Like, of course, you have to be thankful and content, but like there's a line between being content and complacent. Um, for what you have right now. Like, I've heard some version of it, but I've never heard it the way that she said it. And she said, I'm not talking about, oh, I'm so thankful for my beautiful house that I just built, or I'm so thankful for um, the car that I drive. She said, I'm talking about the little everyday things. And so she starts listing off all of these things that she's thankful for. And I mean, there are things like, I'm so thankful that I have running water. I'm thankful that this morning I was able to take a hot shower. I'm thankful for the silverware that I was able to use to eat my breakfast. Like, just the everyday, the mundane things that we all overlook. So I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh my gosh, like every little thing that she's saying, I'm like, ah. So I came home and I immediately took out, because I was still feeling, that high, that rush from that podcast. And so I sat down and I started writing down everything I was thankful for that had happened so far that day. And I had only been awake for like 2 hours at this point. And so I didn't think too much into it. I just started writing, and it was just the smallest things. Like, I'm thankful for this school that my kids go to. I'm thankful that we live so close to it. I'm thankful I'm able to take them every day. I'm thankful that they're both healthy and nobody's sick in the house right now. I'm thankful, and like just this, I'm thankful that we have heat in our car. I'm thankful that there was no traffic. I'm thankful that I had the motivation to go to the gym, and just like those smaller things. And I tried to write down as much as I could. Like, my hand was hurting when I was done writing. And what happened was, the rest of the day, I found myself in that mindset. Like, I had already set myself up to be looking for things throughout the day that I was thankful for. And I mean, they were like I was on my way to Publix and I didn't hit any red lights. And like, green lights, just like little things like that. And the difference in my mood yesterday and my just all around like spirit was just and that trickles into your business. And so today, same thing. I went to the gym again. I listened to another podcast. I came home, but this time I wrote down all the things I was thankful for this morning. But then I followed it up with writing I am. And without getting too in depth, because I don't want to butcher this too much, but basically, and in fact, I think Rochelle did a Zoom on this or something about I am, but how powerful that is. Because, and Shelby, you might have to help me out with this for a second, but what is it like? Isn't God's not name,
Yeah,
but like,
so another name for God is I am.
okay,
You'll hear it in the Bible that he is I am. And so when you're saying I am this, you're saying God is this. So if you're saying that negative things, I am insert negative remark about yourself, you're saying God is this. And so
yeah,
when you're saying thing when you understand that and you remember that, then it helps you to flip it and say it positively. Right? Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's two parts to that. There's what Shelby just said, which Pam said that. But then there's also, if you think about it, and it sounds so obvious, but like if you're sitting here right now and you're thinking, I am not a mass enroller. Okay, so let's just say Shelby is thinking that. Okay. But I'm over here and I'm like, I am a mass enroller. I have people flooding to me. I'm overwhelmed with the messages that I have. Everything is energy, right? And so who are all of those people going to come to? Me, not Shelby, because she's over there. She's not ready for it. She's closed. Her hands are closed. Her eyes are, everything is closed. And so all these people, and actually money too, which Pam says that too, is money is also energy, which you guys know we've said a million times. There is so much money out there to be taken, right? But if I'm over here saying I'm unworthy, or there's no way I can promote to triple diamond, or I'm never going to earn this bonus, all that money that's out there is literally like fleeing from me. Like it is going to shoot and fly towards whoever is. I am worthy. I deserve this. I am capable of this. I am triple diamond. And and so what I did today, this morning, was I wrote all the things that I was thankful for that happened so far today. Then I followed it up with I am, and I just let that flow too. Like I just, I filled up half a page with things that were, I am a good leader. I am triple diamond. I am capable of making $10,000 a month. I am, and I just kept going and going and going and going and going. And again, just like yesterday, the rest of my day, I felt myself in that headspace. I felt myself, we always say, and I keep talking about Pam, but Pam always says too, to put yourself in the shoes of whoever or whatever it is you want to be. So, she always talks about licking the leather of the car that she wanted to buy. And it's the same thing, like put yourself, so let's say your goal is diamond, and diamond to you means that now you get to, after you pay your bills and after you put money in savings, now you get to go to Target once a week, and you get to have like a little shopping spree or something. I don't know. Whatever it is that your next rank would do for you, you have to literally put yourself there. And so let's just use a Target example. If that is something that you'd be able to do, then you need to go to Target. Like you need to actually physically go there and know in your head, okay, so if I promote to diamond this month and I earn this bonus, that paycheck is going to look like this, which means I'm going to have this much money that I can go spend at Target. And then go see how much you can actually buy. Like go see what all, or let's say you're a mom and it means you get to go buy organic food because that's important to you, but right now you can't afford it. Go to Publix or whatever your grocery store is and find out how much that would cost, and go and walk the aisles as if you're going to buy that stuff, because your mind has to see it and it has to believe it in order for these things to happen. And if you're like me, not everybody is, but if you're like me, that's a really big part of believing, because I do have well, I don't anymore, but I used to have a scarcity mindset. And so I need more of the physical evidence and proof that this is what's going to happen if I reach this goal. So anyways, so I'm going to write what I'm thankful for. It's going to be the little things or the big thing, whatever it is that's happening that day. And then I'm going to do I am. And then once you start doing that I am over, like on a daily basis, your gonna see a shift. And Pam says it can happen very fast. Your money mindset can change very quickly, as long as you're consistent and as long as you're truly in that 5 minutes it takes you to write all these things down. I don't care how skeptical you are, you have to get rid of all those feelings and thoughts while you're writing these things down. And then if you need to have them back later, okay, but eventually they're not going to come back because it's going to start feeling like it's real, that everything you're writing down is real. So anybody who's not doing that, I definitely challenge you to do this. And I kind of tossed around the idea of doing a Zoom on it, but honestly, that was it. Like what I just told you guys is it. I think it'd be cool if we all committed to doing it and then had a follow-up Zoom, like maybe a 30-day, like if we all started today, then maybe in 30 days, get back on here and just talk about how are we feeling? Like, how's everybody's money mindset? Does everybody feel that, and I don't know, we can talk about that later, but anyways, that's all I got for you with that.
Yeah, one thing that I really love about this too is I've been doing this for a long time with a journal, and the journal is actually one that Fair got me when I went diamond. It was like part of my diamond gift. So this was like years and years and years ago. And it just sat on my shelf for a while. And then eventually, right around like, I don't even know, I'd have to go look because I date it, but I finally pulled out the journal and I started truly using it. And on like the first page, I did like a whole page full of affirmations. And then I did a full page of visualizations, which if you are kind of like, what's the difference here? So affirmations would be like, I am this, I am this, I am this. Um, and then the visualizations are like, I'm writing down, it's like that licking the leather or kicking the tire type thing that Ashley was talking about, where you're truly putting yourself in the shoes of what and who you are. And so I wrote it down in so much detail about my dream home and the colors of the walls and the way it would look. And the fact that I would wake up in the morning, and I'm not even kidding, it said this, I would wake up in the morning of my dream home and walk out into my round kitchen table where my kids and my husband would be sitting eating breakfast. And it's crazy because I literally do that every morning now at my round freaking kitchen table. Like, this stuff is crazy. But my whole point of this is it's cool to write it down, because then you can look back and read it and be like, whoa, like mind blown to see these things happening, or maybe that they have happened and you didn't even realize it. Like, sometimes we take for granted the blessings that actually happen. We forget to be like, oh, thank you, God, like that thing that I prayed for happened. But that's one thing that I really love to do, is just kind of go back, because I was doing it even before we had the boys, before we even had kids. So it's just neat to go back and look at that and see how things have truly like happened for us. Okay, so moving on a little bit, unless anybody has anything they want to add in or say, I'm going to check the chats real quick. Okay, cool. So it's just people kind of chiming into what Ashley was saying. Wonderful, wonderful. I know when she shared it with me this morning, I was like, oh, so much fire. Gotta share this again. Because if you go to my YouTube channel, we actually did an entire Zoom on your money mindset, having a scarcity versus abundance mindset, your money blueprint. Did I already say that? I feel like I just said the same thing twice. But we did an entire 1 hour Zoom on it, and it's so good. So if you want to check it out, you can go to my YouTube channel, just type in, I don't know, maybe I'll share it on the team page. I don't even know what my YouTube channel is, but it's there and it's really good. So, all right, next thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is I do want to take some time not necessarily tonight because we only have a half hour, if that. We only have about 25 minutes. But I do really want to start diving into social media trainings again. We have those on my YouTube channel. We have them all over YouTube because all the top leaders do them. Like we have so many resources out there, but sometimes I feel like it's good to do refreshers because things are always changing. Social media is always evolving. The algorithm's changing literally daily, and you never know what like new tips and tricks are coming out. So going forward over the next month, 2 months, I don't necessarily have like a timeline yet, but I would like to do it sooner than later, is really do like a full blown Facebook training, something that we can record, and hopefully you guys can learn some new tips, but more than anything, record it so it's something that we can share very easily with our newbies. And same goes for Instagram too. Like a lot of it might be stuff that you know, but I've actually had a good amount of newbies join in the last 2 months who don't even have Instagram. And I've been saying to them, like, let's focus on using what you have, meaning Facebook, and let's go get your loyal customers right now. Let's focus on your shopping spree, and then we'll go work on Instagram, because the last thing that I want is for them to be like, I need an Instagram, I need a business page, I need business cards, like I got to do all this stuff, and now they're not focusing on the one thing that's actually going to make them money. Because you don't need a business page, by the way, in case anyone was like, wait, we need a business page. You don't. So anyone that doesn't have an Instagram, or maybe I met them on Instagram and they don't have a Facebook, I'm like, let's focus on messaging your warm market and what you have on Instagram. I do gently suggest that they create a Facebook just because I want them in the team page, but I'm not like really focusing on them like jumping into Facebook quite yet. So I do want to do individual trainings on each of those. But tonight, what I want to share with you guys, and I do want to, we might run out of time, I don't know, but I do want to go over samples a little bit too towards the end, just because I know we've talked about it in different trainings here and there, but some of them were leadership trainings, some of them might have been live, some of them like might have been individual little team things. But I definitely want our team as a whole to be doing samples, selling samples, because it's just been like an eye awakening. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's been like a light bulb where I'm like, it's an eye opener. Thank you, Kat. It's been like a light bulb going off how simple it is to make cash. Because before, we could always sell our products for truly whatever price we want, but they say sell them for retail, you bought them for wholesale, you're going to make the difference, right? But you have to cover shipping, you have to go to the post office, yada, yada, yada. Well, now they've made it so simple because they're shipping out these skinny brew samples for you. You don't have to pay for shipping. And so there's just so many benefits to it. And if you're selling a mailer, which has 3 samples in it for $25, you're making an insane profit. So if we have time towards the end, we can talk about that a little bit more. I do have a whole unit in Team Bomb Diggity that talks about like a post you can put up, exactly what to say to them, and then exactly how to purchase credits and send samples. So it really is all there. But I just don't want anyone to have any reason why they're not. Because a lot of us are like, it's new, I don't know how to do it, I'm not doing it. Or like, it's new, I'm bad at technology, I'm probably not going to do it. Or none of my people are buying samples for 25, so I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't want there to be any excuse. I've never felt more confident saying to a potential distributor, if you can spend the $69 now, I can absolutely guarantee you that you could have that and more by the next day. I've never felt more confident saying that, because yeah, the kits used to come with wraps that they could resell, and then they kind of changed it to, I mean, it's been changed a few times, but most recently it was a whole bunch of samples, right? And technically they could sell them. But again, I've never felt more confident in telling a potential that they can make their money back immediately. And it's because I have confidence in the products, obviously, but also because now they're able to ship them out for free. So I'm really excited about it, and I want to make sure that you guys are really excited about it too. So if you feel like you just haven't dove in, dive in 100%. If you feel like your market's not going to want to buy them for X, Y, and Z dollars, try to sell them for X, Y, and Z dollars. You can always change the price. It's not a set price. Okay, so again, if we have a little more time at the end, we can dive back into that, or maybe that will be a whole separate live, or I don't even know. But I do want to make sure that I spend a good amount of time. I'm going to let Kat take the floor. She has been absolutely killing it on TikTok, which if you have no idea what TikTok is, basically it's just it's a social media app where you can post videos. And I'm going to let Kat kind of go into it because I'm definitely not a pro. I've posted like 4 videos and gotten like -4 views on them. So, Kat, I'm going to give you the floor. I guess just this isn't necessarily a TikTok training because we don't really have time for that. But I do want you to share like your story in the last week or so, I guess you could say, like what's happened for you, or just the evolution of your TikTok, because I know you didn't just start on TikTok, you've been doing this for a little while. So just kind of share what's going on with you, and then maybe give us like your top 3 to 5 tips that we can take from this and start right now.
Okay, so hey guys, look, TikTok has been around for a while and we've been sleeping on it, right? So I downloaded TikTok a long time ago. I had no idea how to use it. I made a video and I was like, that's cool. Never used it again. I got a new phone, never downloaded it again. Well, Gary Vee, I don't know if you guys follow him. One day he was like, you need to be on TikTok. And I was like, I'm gonna do whatever Gary Vee says. So I got back on TikTok. And then Paulina, she kind of like got me back into it because she was like, oh, I'm on TikTok. And I was like, let's be TikTok friends. So she kind of like brought me back into the TikTok world, right? Then I saw like Ashley Sinclair's on TikTok and I was like, I freaking love her. Like the thing about TikTok is you don't have to be an Instagram model. And I don't know about you guys, but I was in this serious, like crazy rut where I just feel like people thought I was like this person. Like that's not me. I'm not a model. I don't even like taking pictures, like to be honest. Okay. So when I found TikTok, I was like, oh, okay, I can be me. There's this girl, her name is IMJ, and she's super weird. She's like says weird things. She has a weird voice and she has billions of followers, you guys, for stupid ass videos. Okay. Like they're just dumb. But I love her. Right. So I was like, trying to do my research. Okay, well, what kind of video am I gonna make? I don't want to be salesy, right? Well, so I started making stupid videos. I'm not dancing. You don't have to know how to dance, by the way. If you think you have to like learn all this stuff, I've never done a dance on there. You don't have to do that. But I did just start making like regular videos. Well, I made a coffee video one day, and it had like within a day, I don't know, 75,000 views. And I had a bunch of people asking me questions about the coffee. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So then I did a bunch of more stupid videos. And the thing about TikTok is it's very similar to Instagram where you want to use the most trending hashtags. So if you guys have gotten out of using hashtags because you have like a private account or whatever, TikTok that's how you get your video shown. It's called a For You page. So you would hashtag the For You page. And then anybody who hashtags For You page could possibly show up in the scroll, right? So it's like an endless amount of public videos that you can go through. So I saw, I forget her name, one of somebody in our company, she made a video, and it was, you might remember, Shelby, I sent you the link to her YouTube the other day, you and Ashley, and I was like, you guys have to watch this girl. Her name might be Ashley, but she basically made a video really quick. It's like 15 seconds. You can do 15 seconds or a minute long. And it just talks about how she's a normal person. She has epilepsy, she suffers with seizures, but she still makes bank from her phone, right? And you can put music to it, and you can almost make it like this really cool like commercial, right? So I took out my notebook and I watched her video like 1,000 times, and I wrote my own story, right? Because I don't have epilepsy, I don't have seizures, right? But I have my own problems, okay? So my problem is I don't want to be in public. I don't want to go outside. I like to stay home, and I want to be with my dog. So I wrote a script, and then I made a video. The video has, I'm not talking, I'm not saying anything. It's just got music, and it's me like walking around my house, okay? And then on top of the video, you can put words. So you can set a duration for how long it shows up on the screen. And it just said, what did my video say? I don't know. I like to stay home alone 90% of the time. And I had like a hoodie on with my glasses. And you can see like the train in the back. You know, you can see everybody in the cities like out and about. And I'm like, I don't like to be outside. I want to be alone. But I've been making money from my phone for the past 4 years. And then the last little blurb was like, and you can too. And then it says, message me on Instagram. And then I leave my handle. Because on TikTok, it's really hard to talk to people. If you're not friends, it'll just say like, you can't talk. You're not following each other. So I found it to be like really weird. The messaging system is awkward. So I always bring them to my Instagram. Okay. If they happen to message me on TikTok, I'm like, hey, let's talk on Instagram because this is super weird. And then they're like, yeah. So we get to Instagram, right? And here's what's cool. Is at 175,000 views. I don't know about you, but I never had that kind of like, I never had that happen to me. I don't think so on Instagram. Okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people are looking at my stuff. Okay. And then I had 200 people. I'm at 213 have messaged me. I'm not cold messaging. Okay. Like this is crazy. So they messaged me. I saw your video on TikTok. I want to know more. So then here's what's really important, y'all. You have to be organized. I'm not organized. That's why Shelby got me this. Okay. I'm organized chaos. That's me. So I have been writing down every single person's name that messages me. And when I get them to my phone, I highlight them yellow because now they have my link, right? So I have to be organized, but also be organized in a way that you have a video ready to show them, because you're not going to want to type this stuff out regardless of shortcuts on your keyboard. Okay. So I made a really quick video. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to make this video, but my hands hurt so bad because so many people have messaged me from TikTok. And then I tell them a really quick, this is me. I'm a cheerleader. I'm from Tampa. I live in Miami, and I work from social media. And I just basically tell them what I do. I take the products that I love and I tell people about them. The company gives me a commissions on my sales. I basically share my discount with other people. And that a lot of people have been like, thank you so much for the video. But, let me back up. The first thing that I say to them, first thing is I'll voice memo. Hey, Shelby, I'm so happy that you reached out to me. Can you tell me what state you live in, and are you over 18? So they hear me, right? They hear me first and like, okay, this is a person. And then I send the video once, I always ask if they've ever heard of It Works. So I'm like, where are you from? And then they tell me, and I'm like, cool. Have you ever heard of It Works Global? And they're like, no. And let me tell you, 204 people out of the 213 have told me no. In case you're wondering if we're saturated, we're not. Okay. People don't know who we are. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then boom, I hit them with the video. This is who we are. This is what we've done. We've been around since 2001. And I get to know them personally. Okay. You have to know their goals. Ask them how much money they want to make, and then show them an income chart. Don't forget that. Because if you don't have that little piece in there, they're just going to like, it's not going to mean anything to them. Right. But if you're like, okay, what rank do you want to hit? They're like, oh, I want to be an executive. I'm like, girl. No, we need to do something better. Like, you could do executive tomorrow. What do you think about diamond? They're like, yeah, that would be cool. So I haven't signed anybody as of like this moment. most potentials I've ever had in my life come to me. And I've been doing this for 4 years. Like, I've been thinking that I was working, but I wasn't working. Okay. You guys, you have to get out of your bubble. Okay. If you don't want to be an Instagram model, don't be an Instagram model. If that's not your vibe. Okay. TikTok for me, you guys, if you're like looking for something new, I posted a video on TikTok of my zit that I had to get removed from my head because it was so big. I posted that on TikTok. I wouldn't post that on Instagram, you guys. I just like, okay, I might have made a story like, ooh, I don't want to show anybody this. But like on TikTok, you can be yourself. So that's why I'm excited about it, because I feel like I can like just be me. And that's what's happening on TikTok.
That's so amazing. It's so amazing. I'm really proud of you. I'm so excited to see all these potentials come through. And I'm glad that you shared the part about the video, because I loved that, when basically just streamlining the process, right? And although this was specifically about TikTok, like you can do that for Instagram too. Like if Instagram is your jam and is working really well for you, you can do the same thing where you just have a really short little little video prepared and ready to go to someone who is interested in the business, so that you're not having to repeat yourself the whole time. You know, like that is such, I loved when you sent that over. I was like, ah, oh, that's so good. So good. I will say Summer just mentioned this, and same. I have spent a few too many hours just getting sucked into the TikTok For You page. And I'm like, all right, I need to get it together and get focused. So,
But Shelby,
yeah.
Sorry not to cut you off, but what I will say about that getting in a scroll hole on TikTok, dude, it's real. Okay. You'll spend hours, but don't just scroll. You guys interact with them. You can interact with them just like you do on Instagram. And I've been getting a lot more response, and a lot of people following me on Instagram because I'm interacting with them on TikTok. So if you are in a scroll hole, comment at least, you know?
Do you have any suggestions for like the stupid video to like good video ratio on your page? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
How many stupid videos do I make before I make a video about my job or whatever?
Yeah. So I feel like that's really important, because you do not want to spam these people, because number one, a lot of them are really young, and they're going to call you out. They're going to be like, look at you, spammer. Like, so you have to be real. And I made probably 5 like normal videos before I did my coffee video. And then I maybe did like 5 regular whatever videos before I did my opportunity video. But I haven't done more than those 2. Like I'm not down with like making this a spammy page, but I do want people to know that like I'm a real person, and then sprinkle in there 1 or 2 like opportunity coffee, whatever. In my coffee video, you guys, was just like the story on Instagram. I was like, everybody keeps asking me how I'm skinny at this age, and then I'd like show them pouring my coffee, and like that was it. So don't think about it like too hard. Don't think about the content that you like need to make. Be yourself, have fun with it. And then naturally, as you see other people who like Ashley Sinclair, who's like posting opportunity videos, you're going to see how to make it an opportunity without feeling like you're spammy or pushing things on anybody, because you're telling your story. And that's simply what I did. I was like, look at me. I stay at home all day with my dog, and I don't like people. And you could do it too. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's so good. It all goes back to just telling your story, because that makes people curious and makes you real too. So I think that that's just a tip that we can all use in general for any of the social media platforms that we choose to work our business on. I will say, last thing, I think, I don't know what time it is. Yeah, we can end here, but I did hear that the next training in Scottsdale, Arizona, and on it's March 8th or 9th. If you're in or around that area, or just want to travel because you like to travel and have fun, I will be there. And I definitely want to have a meetup with any of our team that's going to be there. I want to meet up, maybe do dinner or drinks or something, but I definitely want us to all get together. So buy your ticket today. They still have some tickets, but Cami leaked that they are really just trying to like serve us as much as they can. The company's working so hard to always be relevant. I mean, we have seen that just in this past year in 2019, them just like totally like rebranding products out the wazoo, products that people want, the top trending products, like they're like on it, right? And they're trying to provide that to us, but they're also trying to provide the most like up to date beneficial trainings that they possibly can. So the one coming up in Arizona, they will be doing like an entire, I guess you could call it panel, I don't know, an entire like chunk of time will be spent on TikTok. So if you think that this is just like a fad that's going to get like pushed away soon, I truly don't believe that. And one thing that I have picked up on and learned over the last just like 4 or 5 years, however many, is that when you're one of the like first people to jump in on one of these things, you're really, really going to benefit from that. Because I've always been the type of person, this goes for samples too, the new sample program, where I've often been the type of person that's like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let other people kind of like do this and like figure out the kinks, and then once all the kinks are figured out, then I'll jump in. Like when other people have found success in this, I'll jump in because clearly it's working, because they proved that it could. But instead now I'm like trying to jump on the train when the train is hot. That's a terrible analogy. I don't know if trains get hot. I'm trying to jump in sooner. So same goes for samples, same goes for TikTok, same goes for whatever. I'm really trying to get in there with that, and I hope that you guys are willing to do the same. It all goes back to the beginning, where we need to be getting out of our comfort zone. We need to be doing all the things. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys got a lot out of this tonight. It was recorded. I will be sharing it on my YouTube. Don't forget that amazing, like if you just like soaked up every word that Ashley said tonight and are so like, yes, I need to hear more about this. Don't forget that abundance Zoom is saved, or it's on my YouTube, so you can go check that out, and this one will be there as well. So, and go follow Kat on TikTok and go check out her video, because it truly is so simple. I'm excited to go make one like this. Every time I go try, I stop. So I'm ready, Kat. Thanks for tonight, because I feel like I'm ready to go give this a true shot and get on the train while it's hot, because that's a thing. I just made it up and I said so. So love you guys. Have a great night. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, by the way.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, Ash. Thank you. Thanks, Kat.